Welcome to Team Building Cultures, the podcast designed to deliver tools and tips for improving team communication, collaboration, and fostering a culture where teams thrive. Now, here's your host, Beverly Hathorn, owner of Strategic HR Consultants.
Hello, podcast listeners, and thank you so much for joining another episode of Team Building Cultures. I am your host, Beverly Hathorn, owner of Strategic HR Consultants. And today I have with me, I'm very excited to talk to Amy Hager. Amy is a marketing mentor helping entrepreneurs and business owners create organic marketing that they enjoy and that gets conversations started, leading to sales. Today, Amy is going to talk to us about how we can discover and experience more freedom in our business by using content personality to simplify marketing. And she's also going to help us understand how to market in a way that feels good to us and what marketing mix is right for you and your business. So, very relevant and pertinent information, Amy, that you're going to be sharing with us today. Thank you so much for your time and joining me on the show.
Thanks for having me, Beverly. I'm excited.
Yes, this will be an awesome discussion. I'm sure our listeners will gain a lot from what you have to share today. So, just tell me a little bit about how you got started in marketing. Was this a lifelong dream or was it by happenstance or what?
That is a really great place to start. So I actually started marketing when I was at the ripe old age of 9. And I used to race go-karts, and I would have to go around town and get sponsors to pay for things like tires and gas and helmets and fire suits, like all the things you need when you're competitively racing go-karts. And as I continued to get older and have multiple careers, I was on the radio for a while. I spent quite a few years in the nonprofit space as an executive director and marketer there. I really kept finding this common thread through everything that I've been doing is one, community building, and two, creating movements behind something that's just bigger than me. And so that's kind of how I landed with working with the Joyful Business Revolution. And we're really helping coaches, consultants, entrepreneurs who are service-based business owners grow their business in a way that is joyful. Because a lot of times when we start businesses, what I have found is we start them with this beautiful idea, and sometimes that idea fades away because we have to appeal to the marketplace. We have to make a living. We have to do all these things. So we're really kind of flipping that on its head and asking more, well, what would you like to do? What do you enjoy doing? What brings you joy? And building businesses from that platform instead. And where I really feel like the marketing comes into it is marketing is usually what people struggle with the most in their business. And for whatever rhyme or reason, it's my gift. So it's exciting to kind of partner with people to really help them elevate what they're trying to do in this world.
Awesome. I'm so happy to hear that marketing is your gift because I didn't stand in the marketing line with any of that.
Yeah.
And as you were saying about, racing go-karts, which is so cute. That's just really adorable and sounds like it was fun. And having to go and get sponsors for that. I remember, of course, selling the Girl Scout cookies and
Right.
different things for school. And fortunately, I had family and friends and neighbors who knew that marketing was not my skill. So they just purchased everything. And then
They helped you out.
they helped me out. So, I could go, I have other skills, but marketing is not one. So definitely need people like yourself, truly. So tell me, what do you think is the most popular mistake business owners may make when they're selecting marketing or looking for marketing or marketing their business?
So you kind of already hit the nail on the head. It's not a skill set that everybody has, but they feel like they have to show up and be everywhere. So on all the different social media platforms, and they have to do all the different types, creating videos for YouTube or writing blog articles or going on stage and doing presentations or coming on podcasts like this and being interviewed. And it burns people out. And a lot of people view marketing as you have to cast this really wide net in order to make just a few sales. And when you really break down the psychology of decision making and the psychology of buying, that's not how people buy. And so if we really focus, again, going back on to where are your strongest skill sets? What are you really, really good at? And can we let the rest go? And so we've developed a content personality quiz, and we believe there's 5 content types. And the first one is live in person. Next is written. Visual is the third. Audio is the fourth. And video is the fifth. And when we are allowing ourselves to really tap into this strength and allowing our team members too to tap into their strengths of content creation, energetically, it's going to be a lot more fun. You're more likely to do it because it aligns with something you enjoy doing. And you just show up differently. And I'm a live in person person. And there's been so many years that I've had bosses tell me, or supervisors, oh, you should really become a better writer. And it always mind boggled me because I'm like, well, I'm not a good writer. Why can't we just accept I'm not writing a book anytime soon or ever? And so I think we get so focused on where our weaknesses are and we need to improve our weaknesses. Instead, this gives you a chance to really flourish within your strengths.
Awesome. I'm in perfect alignment with you on that because, and like your boss was saying, I struggle I'm not a content writer. I'm just not, but I can hold the conversation with the best of them, so, but when I attempt to write content, and I do write content, but I get what they call like analysis paralysis or something. I'll like rewrite the same paragraph 5, 6, 7 times because I want to get my message across. I want it to be aesthetically correct, but I want it to be grammatically correct. And I just, scratch that out and I start over it. And then I take that out. And, so I am not a content writer. So in line with what you said, I need to find the place where I do best. And I think, that's probably audio and video, that type of thing might actually be my niche. And so tell me a little bit more about your content personal profile development.
Yeah. So if you Google content personality quiz or go to joyfulbusinessrevolution.com/quiz, you can take the quiz. And when you're answering these questions, answer from your gut. You can't answer wrong. And I always say, it was like back in the day when we were kids and teenagers and you'd get the magazine and you would take the quiz and it'd figure out if you're going to live on a beach house or in a country house or on a ranch or, so it's kind of a fun quiz like that, right? But it does really kind of allow you, like I said, to tap into your strengths and let your weaknesses go. And so once you discover what your content personality type is, and again, this is beautiful for teams. I've built out so many teams using this quiz. And the last time I built a team, it was for a standardized construction coalition. I'm not a lawyer, and there was only one lawyer on the team, but we still needed to be able to sell and talk about these standardized construction forms. And so we were missing the audio person on the team. And when I did my interview, I had everybody I interviewed take this quiz, and I only interviewed audio people. And the fun thing was, I did the phone interview first, and this was back in the day pre-COVID, brought them in to do an in-person interview, and they all did horrible in their in-person interviews. And so the third interview, I did them on the phone again, and you could really see how that face-to-face interaction threw them off. And the gentleman that I ended up hiring was selling cell phones at like an AT&T stand at the mall, and like hated the people interaction, but was a people person. And so finding the right vehicle for him to interact with people, which was picking up the phone, it really worked out well for him. And we were stuck at $750,000 a year. We brought this kid on, and within 18 months, we grew to 1.2 million by allowing people to thrive in their strengths. And so, it was really interesting to see what I like that I do now versus that situation is now I'm helping people do it for businesses that they love and things that they've started because it's their passion. And so when you take the content personality quiz and you get your results, you'll be able to really ask yourself, well, am I creating content this way? Am I connecting with people this way? If you get written, but right now you're hosting a podcast or going to networking events and you dread going to the networking events, I wouldn't be shocked. Try maybe writing a blog or asking your local newspaper if you could pen an article or a magazine or something like that. So I think once you know where you're thriving, seek out those opportunities so that you can use that skill that you're really, really already good at.
Yeah, I'm in total alignment with you there. What we do well is innately, what we're equipped for. And
Right.
when we try to go outside that might be where we get in trouble. And I can see where some people try to be all things, but
Mhm.
there's an old saying that says, if you chase two rabbits, you won't catch either one. So, if you're
That's
gonna
a good
try to
point.
be all things,
Right.
you're gonna fail horribly, in my opinion, because at least if you're trying to do 5 different things, at least 3 of those things you aren't innately adequate at. And then so that would probably bring along, feelings of failure or,
Exactly.
yeah, all the negative things that come along with that. So I'm in line with you there. What do you think is the best way to market? Because like you said before, we think we have to blog and do all the social medias and, we have to do everything that comes across. So what would you say is the best way to market? How do we find that for ourselves?
So one, I would say, where do you like to hang out on social media? If Facebook is your jam, be there. If you like Instagram, that's great. If you're into TikTok, awesome. Do that. And a lot of times we get so wrapped up in the demographics of the users on different social media platforms and are they my ideal client? At this point, everybody's on every stinking platform. There's 60-year-old men watching TikTok videos. If that is your target audience and you like TikTok, then go that way. But I think we try to spread ourselves too thin on being on multiple social media types or platforms. So I say pick one and do it really, really well. And then maybe once you've got that down, maybe you have a team, someone else likes to do Instagram, let them do Instagram. You want to find similarities in the messaging and have a solid messaging strategy behind that. But really, again, operate from that place of joy and strength. If you are picking a social media platform that you dread, but you think your ideal client lives on, you're not going to actually do it. You're not going to show up. It's going to be a chore. And none of us started businesses to hate what we're doing. So do what you enjoy. And so I think that's the first and the biggest tip that I give every business owner is you don't need to be on every platform. Pick one, pick the one you like, and do it really well.
Yes, yes. Trying to be on all the platforms is something that I think a lot of people do. And that's evidenced by the companies that sprung up from helping, like HubSpot and,
Right.
all these other companies that say, yeah, you can do one post and shoot it out to
And
all the
6
different
different,
platforms.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
somebody figured that out. Somebody was like, aha, people
Mhm.
are trying to be on all the platforms and I'm gonna make a business
Yeah,
out of that,
exactly. Help them achieve it a little bit more easily.
Yes, yes. And I've tried, I do try, as you say, to be on every platform, but I know where my clients hang out and I'm gonna trim lines or streamline my processes, my marketing processes as far as that goes, because that is exhausting.
Oh
Certain
yeah,
platforms will only take a certain number of characters. They
right.
won't take certain type of video. So even though you think that you can like do one post and shoot it out to all, it's gotta be
Still has
restricted
to
in
be
certain
formatted.
confines. Yeah, yeah, to be able to do that. So yeah, and I'm gonna take your advice and kind of just try to streamline myself down to where I know my clients are hanging out.
Well,
So
and And where you want to hang out too. I think that's the
Yes.
most important part of all of this is if you want to hang out on LinkedIn, then yeah, put your focus there. If you want to continue to do this podcast and put your focus there, then put your efforts on that. But I
Mhm.
think again, we put so much onus that our clients are in these places or that places or whatever. Your clients are everywhere. They're on all the platforms. And so
Mhm.
again, find what you like to do and play there.
Mhm. So when it comes to social media, how often would you suggest we post, or does it vary by business, or what,
Beautiful question.
yeah.
Yeah, I get asked that one a lot. So it is different for every platform. Like on LinkedIn, I think you can get away with maybe once or twice a week, where Facebook, yeah, you probably need to show up a little bit more often, and maybe the same with Instagram. But I'm going to go back to you. What feels achievable? If right now, because of your schedule, your lifestyle, you can only post once a week on whatever platform you choose, post once a week and don't make yourself wrong for it.
Hmm. Hmm. That's interesting. Because we tend to see like some businesses that post. I know some businesses that I get there. I follow them,
Yeah.
and I get a notice every morning. They posted
Mhm.
something every single day,
Right.
and I'm like, how is she doing that? Does she have
Yeah.
a team? You mentioned earlier about having a team, which brings up another little old wives' tale: do what you do best and outsource the rest.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, I'm like, well, how does she do that? And to be totally honest, I kind of don't look every
Yeah.
day because I get so much
It becomes
from,
noise to you.
yes, it
Yeah.
becomes noise. You're right. It's like, oh, that's just,
And so
her
let's
posting.
continue on down this rabbit hole for a hot second. If you were getting, if you were getting pinged daily from it and you really enjoyed and really devoured that content, it would be very different than, well, let's just say they post once a week and you find that once a week post is super duper helpful. So then you do go look. But you're really
Hmm.
proving a point right here of you have got to have quality content over quantity. Quality is going to win every single day. And if you're putting messaging out there that isn't getting any likes, loves, or comments, when we think of our marketing, not as a selling, but as a conversation starter, that completely changes how you approach the situation. And a lot of people think, oh, I'm going to make so many sales off of this post, when they should be thinking, oh, I want to invoke so many conversations or intrigue people to comment. And your marketing and your messaging is working well when you get people who are attracted to you. And then when you get people who are repelled and they're like, I don't want to listen to this person. I don't agree with them. And that is okay. You're not for everybody, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So I really think if we approach marketing to make sure that your messaging is on point, it's truly authentic you, and it's worth someone's time to actually engage with that content and have that conversation or be a part of that conversation. And we really think of our marketing as a conversation starter and not a way to sell products. That also massively shifts how you execute.
Hmm. Good, great points. Great points. I think sometimes we tend to think our social media marketing has to be uh, just attractive, or something that, hey, I've got this great product, and if you contact me, you'll be happy. You
Right.
can use
Yeah.
this product and it'll be great. As opposed to maybe polls. I've heard that polls are really. What do you think about polls?
So
Like,
again, I think polls are a great way to get people into conversation. And I think
mm-hmm.
it's a part of the mix, but you're not going to be able to just use polls only, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it really is finding that mix that's right for you, where maybe, you start your month off with a poll because you have a theme throughout the month that you're going to focus on. And I teach in our content personality club, and every single month we have a new theme and we co-create the content for that. on that theme. And some people do, they start every month out with a poll surrounding around that theme. Some people will tell a story about why they started their business and why they believe in this thing or why they think this thing, which we call, really standing in your power and thought leadership content. And so I think that the mix of content that you can create to engage with people, one, again, is based off of you and what you want to do and what feels good to you. But two, you'll start to get that sense of, all right, like when I do my monthly poll, if that's what you land on, I've got to word the question this way. I've got to feed them a little bit more instead of just asking their opinion and asking them a straight question. But a poll is a great way to really get engagement, to start conversations with people. And a lot of times when you take those answers that you have to the poll and you use that as continual content throughout the rest of the month, it really is, you're kind of taking one thought idea and getting more use out of it, not necessarily creating more content. So I think repurposing and reusing is also something that's really underlooked, and people are like, oh, I need to create something new. I need to create something new. You're the only person who has seen every single marketing piece that you put out. So you don't need to create something new. It's okay to reuse and repurpose.
Aha. That's very interesting. That's some great advice there. So, especially for us non-content writers who have to write content. So, I can actually take some of the content that I've already used and repurpose it. That's very interesting. So, we've talked a lot about social media marketing. What are some other marketing strategies that we can deploy, or what are some other things we can do?
So once you've picked your one platform that you're going to be on for social media, and remember, it's media, it's not marketing, it's social media.
Okay.
I really think where you can double down on and see the best benefit is creating an email list and creating a way to frequently communicate to that list. And again, it's quality over quantity. Like, you want to make sure it's good content that you're putting out there. But, there's been times where I get locked in Facebook jail, or what happens if LinkedIn goes away, or, Twitter, TikTok, who knows, right? So when you're growing your audience on a social media platform, you don't own that. And those people could go away. What you do own is an email list. And so I think focusing your efforts on building an email list and building trust and a rapport with those people who are on your email list is really, really key, because people buy from people they like, love, and trust. And it's a beautiful way to build that love and trust factor and really start, again, it's a conversation starter. It's a great way to start to get to know people, to have them to reply back, or maybe schedule time with you on your calendar. The days of, oh, I'm just going to click and buy something, I think are going away more and more. And one piece, or one way I think business has always been strong on, is building relationships and building a rapport. So that way, when they are ready to work with you, you're the only person they think of. And sometimes it takes some time to build those relationships.
Yes, it does. Do you have any advice for us on how we can, maybe let's say we've encountered a person, a connection, again, on social media or whatever, but let's say we've encountered someone and we did secure their email. However we did that. What would you say would be the next step to not appear salesy, or I want you to buy something from me? How can we go about engaging that person without being pushy or offensive?
So I think, one, it starts on, how did you secure that email? If they just gave it to you and you weren't clear that you were adding them to a list or anything along those lines, personally reach out to that person and say, hey, I'm so excited that we're connected on wherever you connected with them on, and make a personal connection. And then if you have an opt-in or you do have an email list, that's your invitation for them to engage with you further, and make that invitation. If they came to you because they are on your opt-in, or they subscribed to your newsletter on your website or something like that, I do think it's important to introduce yourself when someone is new to your world or new to your list. I think it's important to share what you stand for and what your brand commitment is. I really think it's important for you to give them the opportunity to get to know you better. And through that, yes, please sprinkle in how you help and how you work with people. I think using a PS and always having a way to book a call with you or look on your website of what service you're offering. But I do think you got to think really, really small in how you're communicating. So instead of just saying, hey, go to my website, maybe you do want to focus on a workshop that you have coming up or a calendar invite, but really take some time to build a relationship with somebody who gives your email or gives their email address to you, because it's a beautiful way to start something that maybe they're not going to buy from you right away, or maybe they're going to refer people to you because they do enjoy your content and its quality. So go into each of them as invitations for relationship building.
Yeah, you've given us some really great marketing nuggets for those of us who are not natural marketers, which I think is probably a lot of the population, or at least I like to think so that I don't feel so alone or whatever. Right. But, just do what brings you joy and get in where you fit in, where you feel a natural connection, and use that when you're selecting your social media, when you're selecting your posts. Just make sure that the content is usable, interesting, thought-provoking, starts a conversation. You don't need all this big fantastic stuff coming out every day or whatever, but if that's what you enjoy, if that's what you like, then go ahead and do that, and just focus on your strengths and your skill sets and what you do best. If you're not a writer, then don't stress yourself to write. Either maybe get someone to do that for you, or maybe find another area that you're good at. There's visual, there's audio, there's video, there's live, there's other things that you can do to make your presence known and explore or let people know about what you do, who you are, and what you do. And then when you get an email address, nurture and foster that opportunity to build a relationship and just talk and chat the way you just normally build relationships. And then just every now and then, just kind of drop some nuggets on what it is and what you do. You might find, I'm thinking, in just chatting with people, they may tell you the pain that they have, which is what you actually solve. And you can say, well, hey, let's talk, because that's exactly what I do. So, Amy, these have been really wonderful. This has been some great information that you provided for us today, and also your content personality survey, or I don't want to call it a test, quiz. Yeah, your content personality, which will help people to understand where they fit in best. And by the way, just because you're better at one area doesn't mean you're going to miss out on all these other areas, because we can't chase all the rabbits. We can only chase one rabbit. So if you want to be successful and catch one. So tell us about, do you have an offer for us today, or anything you'd like us to use to connect with you further?
Yeah, so I would say definitely take the quiz. Again, Google content personality quiz, or if you go to joyfulbusinessrevolution.com, it's right there on the homepage. And guess what? I'm probably going to check in with you, because I see all the quiz results. And that's some of the funnest things about this is sometimes super surprising to people. Other times they're like, oh yeah, no, I knew I was going to be that. So I'm just curious, what your results are and how are you utilizing this? And I love having conversations about it, because it definitely kind of eliminates the headache of having to do it all and really focusing on where you're strong. So check out that content personality quiz.
Wonderful. And checking out that content personality quiz will give us a chance to chat with Amy just a little bit more.
There you go.
That will surely be wonderful and helpful and advantageous, most definitely. So, Amy, I do have your business website. Again, I'll repeat it. It's Amy at joyfulbusinessrevolution.com. That
Mhm.
just sounds fun, just in and of
Thank
itself.
you.
That sounds great. So, and we definitely will look at that content personality quiz. You can either Google it or you can find it on Amy's website. So, thank you so much for your time today, Amy. I've learned a lot, and I'm sure that my listeners have as well. And look to hear from us on that content personality quiz.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much, Amy. Have a great day.
You too.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Team Building Cultures. We hope we have delivered helpful and enlightening information to help you create your dream team. Join us next time